All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Think about the voice inside your head right now. That conscious you is literally just the tip of the iceberg. The reality is, the vast majority of your mind operates completely underwater. The rest of it? It's entirely hidden from your conscious view, silently governing your behavior, your health, and your ultimate potential. We've got an amazing roadmap for you today. We're going to cover mapping the hidden mind, the subconscious autopilot, scripts and hidden biases, the mind-body connection, unleashing subconscious creativity, and finally, reprogramming your inner world. Let's get right into it. To figure out the deep machinery of your mind, we've got to start with the original map makers. Section 1. Mapping the hidden mind. Freud, Jung, and the deep dive. It's so fascinating to look at how different these two pioneers were. On one hand, you have Sigmund Freud. He basically looked at the unconscious as a locked, gloomy basement, just this chaotic storage room for repressed desires, childhood drama, and primal urges. But then you have Carl Jung, and he completely flipped that script. Jung gave us this incredibly optimistic, meaning-centered view. To him, the deepest parts of your mind weren't just a site for repression. They were a wellspring, a flowing fountain of creativity, wisdom, and what he called the collective unconscious. Jung actually believed that we navigate our lives using these inherited universal structures called archetypes. You can think of them as a hidden cast of characters running the show just beneath your awareness. First, there's the persona. That's the outward-facing social mask you wear every day to fit in. But hiding right behind that mask is the shadow. The shadow holds all those traits you've rejected or pushed down, and if you ignore it, it can definitely pop up as irrational outbursts. Then there's the anima or animus, which acts as a bridge to your deep unconscious. And ultimately, there's the self, representing a perfectly integrated whole mind. Honestly, getting to know these hidden characters is the real work of psychological maturity. Now, let's head down into the engine room to see how all this maps onto modern science. Section 2. The subconscious autopilot, the engine room of the brain.
So, have you ever driven all the way home and suddenly realized you don't remember the trip at all? It's kind of spooky, right? Well, that happens because your conscious logical System 2 was busy daydreaming, leaving your automatic System 1 to literally drive the car. The psychologist Daniel Kahneman popularized this dual-process model, and it's brilliant. System 1 is incredibly fast, emotional, and totally effortless. It recognizes faces and navigates empty roads instantly. System 2, on the other hand, is our slow, deliberate calculator that burns a ton of mental energy. And frankly, most of the time, System 2 is just plain lazy and goes along with whatever System 1 suggests.
And we can actually map this autopilot system right inside your brain. It's run by a cluster of deep subcortical structures called the basal ganglia. You can think of the basal ganglia as a powerful gatekeeper. It doesn't actually initiate your movements. Instead, it uses dopamine to rapidly unlock and execute learned motor programs. It operates so incredibly fast, priming automatic functions before your cortex even wakes up to what's happening. Your conscious mind literally doesn't even have to lift a finger to execute complex skills once they're learned. Now, working hand in hand with that is your limbic system, which is essentially your emotional brain. This includes key players like the amygdala and the hippocampus. What this system does is provide the emotional context for whatever you're experiencing. So if a behavior gives you a positive emotional reward, like a nice hit of dopamine, your limbic system steps in and ensures that specific behavior gets permanently hardwired into your subconscious. That way, you'll automatically seek it out again in the future without even thinking about it.
But what exactly happens when that childhood wiring leaves us with a faulty operating system? Section 3. Scripts and hidden biases, the ghosts in the machine.
Here's the thing. We all carry what psychologists call early maladaptive schemas. Basically, think of these as invisible life scripts, almost entirely written before you even turn 7, usually based on unmet emotional needs. For instance, if you dealt with early rejection, your subconscious might be running a massive abandonment script, making you constantly expect people to leave you. Or maybe it's an unrelenting standard script, where you feel like a total failure unless everything is 100% perfect. These scripts operate completely under the radar, dictating how you react today. And when they get triggered, they actually cause you to self-sabotage just to reinforce a pattern that feels familiar, even if it's totally dysfunctional. The real takeaway here was summed up absolutely perfectly by Carl Jung. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Seriously, think about that. If you don't take the time to recognize your own hidden biases, schemas, and life scripts, you'll just go through life thinking your repeated self-sabotage or toxic relationships are just a string of bad luck. But it's not luck at all. It's programming.
Now prepare to have your mind blown a little bit, because these subconscious scripts do way more than just dictate your behavior. Section 4.
the mind-body connection, the psychosomatic bridge. If you want the ultimate proof of this mind-body bridge, just look at the placebo effect. People toss that term around and casually dismiss it as being imaginary, but it's not imaginary at all. It is a highly measurable, physical change in your biology. When your subconscious truly believes and expects a treatment to work, it literally commands your brain to release healing neurochemicals. Just expecting pain relief triggers a flood of internal opioids, while the meaning you attach to a treatment pumps out dopamine. Your deep-seated belief is literally acting as a biological command. But, of course, this is a two-way street. Through the incredible field of psychoneuroimmunology, we can see exactly how chronic, subconscious stress tears you down. When your hidden mind thinks you're constantly under threat, it trips the HPA axis alarm, flooding your entire system with cortisol. And that constant subconscious red alert actually suppresses your immune system and completely blocks cellular repair. It absolutely proves that your hidden anxieties, thoughts, and unresolved childhood scripts carry very real physical stakes for your bodily health.
So with all these invisible systems running the show, directing what you do, scripting your fears, and even altering your immune system, we have to ask a huge question. Section 5, Unleashing Subconscious Creativity, the Power of Incubation.
Can we flip the script here? Is there a way to actively harness this massive, high-speed computational power in our brains for our own conscious benefit, especially when we're trying to achieve those elusive creative breakthroughs? The answer is absolutely yes. Way back in 1926, Graham Wallace mapped out exactly how to do this in 4 distinct steps. First up is preparation. This is where you consciously gather info and just saturate your mind with the problem. But then comes the really crucial step, incubation. You literally have to step away. Let your conscious mind take a break so the vast parallel processing of your subconscious can do the heavy lifting in the background. That's exactly when you hit step 3. Illumination, that famous eureka moment that feels like a flash out of nowhere. Finally, there's verification, where your conscious mind comes back online to evaluate the new idea. So really, your absolute best ideas require your conscious mind to just get out of the way for a minute. We can even boil this down to a simple conceptual formula. Insight equals conscious preparation multiplied by your state of relaxation during that incubation phase. Think about it. Without deep conscious preparation, your subconscious has absolutely zero raw material to work with. But without relaxing and physically stepping away from the problem, you totally block the insight from surfacing. You absolutely have to have both the hard work and the total rest to get that magical breakthrough. Okay, let's tie this all together and talk about how you can practically reprogram these hidden systems today. Section 6. Reprogramming your inner world, taking back the controls. Drawing on the work of people like Joseph Murphy in clinical neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, you can actually rewrite your own autopilot. Take visualization, for example. You're implanting goals by vividly imagining them until your brain genuinely feels like they're real. Then there's the Bidonian technique, which is super fascinating. It involved repeating a very simple condensed phrase right when you're in that drowsy pre-sleep state. Why then? Because that's when the hypercritical, logical part of your conscious mind finally goes offline, leaving your subconscious wide open to positive suggestion. You can also use NLP anchoring to physically link a specific emotion, like total calmness, to a physical trigger, literally wiring a brand new shortcut right into your automatic system 1. Ultimately, all of this, the psychology, the biology, the creative exploration, it all leads up to what Carl Jung called individuation. This is really the profound, empowering goal of all psychology. It's the lifelong journey of making the unconscious conscious, integrating your shadow, shedding those outdated maladaptive scripts, and shifting from being a passive victim of your hidden programming to becoming a fully integrated, self-directing person. It quite literally means taking the steering wheel back from your hidden mind. I want to leave you with a thought to chew on as we wrap up this explainer. Understanding your subconscious isn't just some abstract academic theory. It is the absolute key to transforming your entire reality. The engine of your mind is running 24/7, whether you're aware of it or not. So now that you've finally seen the map, what hidden script will you choose to rewrite today?